thank you so much, Emmanuel, for being here. It really does mean a lot. I think I've only been following you on Instagram for like less than a week, really.
Oh,
But
wow.
I think your work's definitely been blowing up, at least on my explore page.
Oh,
I think,
that's interesting.
yeah, every day for like the last maybe 1.5 weeks, it's either I see
Wow.
one of your reels or I see one of your photos,
Wow.
which is super cool. So I think I took it as a sign to reach out to you or looking into you, and I'm really glad that I did. But just please tell us a little bit more about yourself as an individual and as a creator.
Okay, so my name is Emmanuella Boamah, and I'm a Ghanaian photographer. Um, Technically, or basically, I shoot beauty now. I do more beauty and retouching. I do retouching for other creatives, and yeah. So yeah, basically that's it. I do more of like retouching more than shooting. Also the time.
Okay. And was this always your dream growing up as a young girl? Is this what you always wanted to do, or the trajectory kind of shifted over the last couple of years?
No. That's not what I always dreamed about.
Really? Okay. What did you want to do? What did you want to do, and then how did
even
that shift?
growing up, I didn't even know anything about photography. I don't think photography was something that ever crossed my mind because there wasn't anyone in my, let me see, family line or around me, like a relative or anyone that was in photography, for me to have maybe developed interest or anything. It didn't happen like that. Growing up, you know that thing where you want to be something, you get to another stage in your life, you want to be something else, you get to another stage in your life.
You just want to switch it up.
Exactly.
Change it up.
Exactly. So that's what happened. So like, I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to be a journalist because I like talking a lot. Yeah. So I saw everyone, I'm going to be a journalist. I'm going to be a journalist. Then, I went to secondary school, and I realized that I had this talent in art, but unfortunately, I did the wrong course because in school, like a lot of people were like, "You should have done visual art. You should have done visual art." I'm like, at that time, I didn't know anything like visual art or anyone who could advise me on choosing that course. Yes, so I ended up doing a reading course that could have, ended me, pushed me to being the journalist that I wanted to be. But then along the way, I lost interest in being a journalist. Yes. So as at the time I was completing school, I actually didn't really know what I wanted to do. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure because I looked at all the possibilities, all the things that I could become with the course that I studied in school, and there wasn't any one of them that I was interested in.
That's very interesting. So, what step did you take then after that? What and how did that lead you to becoming a retoucher and a photographer?
So when I completed school, I wanted to go into modeling because I love taking pictures of myself. Like, I'm photogenic and I love taking pictures, like a lot.
Like a lot.
Like a lot.
Okay.
I don't know, a lot. I like to give it. I have like a lot of pictures of just myself. It's not my hard drive. So like, I wanted to be a model. So after school, I joined a modeling agency. I started training a couple of runways, and that was what I was doing. Then one time something happened. I was making a post on Facebook, and I happened to hashtag photography, and a page popped up. So out of curiosity, I just followed up to the page, and I saw that it was a new page. It was actually a page for photographers, models, makeup artists, basically these creatives, and they were asked to drop their WhatsApp numbers to be added to a WhatsApp group. So I just dropped my number and
You didn't know what you were doing. You
Exactly.
just put your number in there.
exactly. I just dropped my number and I was just added to
Okay.
the WhatsApp group. So yeah, we were on this WhatsApp group. You know, there were photographers there were makeup artists, there were other models. So we just used to chat like, you know, random stuff, creative stuff and all that. And there was a time they organized a photo walk.
Okay.
Okay, and you know how photo walks are. Like you need a photographer and makeup artist, models. Yes, so I went there as a model. I remember it was a Val's Day, 14th February 2015.
You remember it so
Yeah,
distinctly.
because I mean, it was Val's Day, so I do remember. So I went there as a model, and when I was there, I mean, there was this guy who had this very cute camera, like Canon. The camera was just too cute, and then he gave it to me like he just gave it to me like, oh, I should try if I would want to, you know, just like take some pictures. Like I should just try. So he just gave it to me, and he just like showed me where to press and all that. So I mean, throughout the whole photo walk, I was not actually doing modeling anymore. I was just
You were now taking pictures.
yes, I was just holding the camera, trying to take pictures, trying to do something
That's
with the
crazy.
camera. And
That's
that was
crazy.
where it started. And from that time, I was so obsessed with photography. I so wanted to learn photography. Like I would go online, I would read stuff online, I would go to like some photographers on the page. I wanted someone to just show me where to start from because it was bored. So I wanted someone to just show me, okay, start from here, read from here, do this, study this. So I mean, I got those kind of help along the way, you know, people teaching me. Eventually, I understood what the exposure triangle was, and that was it. Because I mean, I think the whole thing about photography, if you understand the exposure triangle, you can take a good picture.
You definitely can take a good picture.
Yes.
You can understand ISO and the shutter speed, and
Yeah, exactly.
you can definitely take a decent picture. But that's a very interesting story. I can't believe you went there intending to be one thing
I know,
and then
right?
you ended up coming out of it
Yes.
as another thing. But I can definitely relate to the feeling of your first time ever using a camera, and then after that, just having this like euphoria of wanting to do it some more and doing it again. And that was me about 4 years ago. It was the same thing.
Oh, wow.
I handled a camera the first time, and I was like, I can't let go of this. I just need to do more. And I was on YouTube, like just like you. I really didn't have anyone around me and in my space who could teach me and show me. So I had to go out and looking for it by myself. Spend countless hours on YouTube and watching tutorials, and, on reading on articles and things like that. So I can definitely relate to, that initial step into the photography scene. But you mentioned that was in 2015.
Yeah, actually, that was when I developed interest for photography. But I wasn't actually officially doing photography.
Okay, so when then did you start doing photography officially?
I started
on your
doing
Instagram.
photography officially in 2017.
Okay, so now the question is, what changed and what moved between 2015 and 2017 that got you to say, okay, now I want to take this thing seriously?
I think over the from 2015 to 2017, within that period, I was doing something. I was doing something that wasn't photography related. Yeah, I used to do these ushering jobs. You know, I completed SHS. I didn't have a job because I was on SHS leave. Like I didn't have a job. Like I wasn't going to go to the university like anytime soon. So I was just at home, and I just entered into this ushering, promotion, that kind of stuff. Like you promote for brands at places, you usher events, and that was bringing me some decent money. So I was doing that between that period whilst I was still reading about photography, still studying about photography, still, I didn't have a camera, I didn't have anything. I didn't have anything. And I was studying photography. I didn't have anything. So what happened was that there was this guy in the group I spoke to
Mhm.
you about, who was very nice. So he offered to give me his camera, like anytime I wanted to use it to practice. Like
Wow.
he offered to give it to me. So there are times where I'll just go for it. I'll just be in my house. I'll just be taking shots out, like taking pictures of plants, like shadows, lights.
That's how it starts. Hey, that's crazy. That's
know,
really how
right?
it starts.
Yeah, so just
I remember personally. It's funny because it's literally the same thing. When I was reading about photography and studying photography, I had no budget for a camera. I didn't have a camera. I didn't even plan on getting a camera, but I just wanted to learn so much. I remember taking pictures of plants and buildings with my cell phone. With my cell phone.
yeah.
And I look at those pictures now, and at the time, I really thought I was doing a banging job. I
know,
really
like
I really thought I was killing it.
I know, like that feeling of like, wow, this shot
Yeah.
should be in a magazine.
Yes, that's the feeling you get. But I think
Yeah.
it's feelings like that push us to do more and want more of this photography thing. And I think I'm grateful that I had my family around me, my sisters and my parents, who, even though the pictures were bad, they encouraged me. they really did encourage me, and I appreciate
That's great.
that about them. But looking at your work from 2017 to now, and I've been through your Instagram. It's really nice stuff that you have going on, and you can definitely see the growth, the change in style, and the maturity and the quality of the work as well. But I think my question now is: it's only been about 4 years that you've started doing this professionally. What have been the key principles that have gotten you to the quality of work that you are at now? And I know you've said and mentioned before that you're not where you want to be, but you're definitely in a much better place than you were 4 years ago. And what principles have you applied to get yourself there?
Okay, so what I'm going to say is, I think how far I've gotten. Okay, one of the things that have gotten me like this far is the fact that I have a goal. I know how I want to turn out. I know where I want to be, and I'm not there yet. So that keeps pushing me. I see stuff. I mean, we all see pictures on Instagram. We see pictures on the internet of other people's work that inspires. And you see someone's work, you're like, I really want to shoot like this. I really want my work to get to this point.
That's so how I feel about when I look at your work. That's how I feel when I look at your
work.
Really? Yeah, straight. That's really how I feel when I look at your work.
Someone told me that this past few weeks I've been having a lot of messages from like a whole lot of people, like lots of them from outside the country and all that. Someone called me to tell me whenever he looks at my images, he feels like giving up.
That's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to inspire people, not to make them get.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I also look at someone's work and also feel like giving up. And
that's funny.
You look at mine and you feel like giving up.
But that's the beauty of the dynamic, you know what I mean? And I think that's the beauty of just being confident in the little that you're doing and sharing it with the world, because you have no idea how many people it's impacting. It's crazy that sometimes you look at people who are, 10 years into the game and you're like, I want to be there. But there are people, believe it or not, there are people who are looking at your work and you're like, wow, I want to be like Emmanuella one day, which is crazy to think. It's crazy to imagine, but that's the reality. That is the reality. That is literally the reality.
Yes.
So yeah, the principles you've applied.
Exactly. So I know where I want to be, and that is the drive. So I keep on trying. I try to create something that will be similar to where I want to be. I try it. If I get something wrong, I improve on it the next time. So basically, that's how it has been. And for me, I feel like one other thing is also like finding your niche and being confident in it. Like that's one of the things that I've really struggled with for a very long time. But finally, I think I've discovered the kind of photography I want to do, because coming up, I never wanted to be the photographer that shoots everything. I know,
Yeah.
I know, like a lot of people like say that depending on the country, when you shoot everything, that's when you make the money. If you decide to specialize, you won't make a lot of money, that kind of stuff. But I'm a strong believer of specialization, and especially it's very hard for me because I'm someone that is multi-talented. I know how to do a whole lot of things. So being able to let go of something that I know how to do and just focusing on one thing.
It's hard.
Really,
especially if you've got a creative mind, because the creative mind doesn't settle. It's always wanting to do something new and always wanting to try something new. So you have to be very disciplined now if you want to focus on one thing and master that. What are the other things now that you're creatively into? And I know you've already mentioned modeling, you've already mentioned journalism.
Pardon?
What other creative things are you into? I know you've already mentioned modeling and journalism, which are both very creative things.
Journalism is not even part.
Let's throw that out. Let's throw it out. Let's
take out modeling. Modeling, I think it was just because I love to get pictures. Yes.
So we're throwing out journalism and modeling.
Everyone who loves taking pictures
is a model. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
like
true.
Once
that's
they
true.
are photogenic, they like taking pictures. They just feel like they can be models, but no.
Okay.
So let's put that away. So yes, I know I do a lot of things, like a whole lot of things. So one of my abilities is I have the ability to learn by seeing. Yes. So I don't need someone to teach me.
Yeah.
Once I see something, like I'm not ready to read something, I can read it.
That's crazy.
So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So aside the photography stuff, I sew.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy. That's also a very creative thing, though. That's definitely a creative thing.
But I don't sew clothes.
What do you sew?
I sew bags.
Really?
I don't know if I have like a sample around.
No ways.
Let me see if I can get a sample.
Yes, please do. We would love that. We've got a sample.
Yes. So, this.
Handmade?
Yeah, handmade.
What the heck? No ways. I like the pockets inside. I've never seen them with pockets inside. That's different. That is different. I like that a lot.
So
that is very impressive.
Something that I do.
And how long have you been doing that?
Oh, since 2015.
And you resell these?
Yeah, I produce everything myself, like from scratch.
Okay, so now the question is balancing the creative side of making bags and the creative side of photography. Is there one that gets more attention than the other? Like, how do you do it all?
Definitely.
And now it's because now you're an entrepreneur. You're your own business person, and you need to make sure you're balancing all these things. How do you do it? How do you find that balance?
Okay, so just as he said, and just exactly what we've been talking about, like there are some things that you just can't combine. Yes, there's some things. Well, someone might be able to do that, but I know myself, it's not easy combining these two things because they are equally demanding. So it gets to a point where I have to make a decision to either drop one or be mediocre about it. because obviously it's very hard to give equal attention to these two things. Yes, so I do what would bring me peace of mind. Basically, this is a bag that I produced myself. I didn't learn it from anyone. I brought out the idea. The idea is originally mine. I'm not talking about the idea of it being like a drawstring bag. I'm talking about the idea of creating it with leather and having all those pockets
Pockets
size.
inside. Yeah, I've never
Yes,
seen
exactly.
it like that before, ever. It's the first time.
Yes. So that's something that I created like myself, and normally it's very hard for me to let go of original ideas. If I copied it from someone, very easy to let go. But if I invented it, like sort of like invented it myself, it's very hard to let go. So this is something that I've improved over time for a long period of time. I've improved it. It has gotten to a point where like it's perfect. It's the market, like the world can consume it. Like the market out there, I'm confident in the products. Like if it goes out there, I know it's not gonna flop. But then photography comes in, not only photography, because right now I'm more into retouching than photography. Yes, so I provide retouching services to photographers and other creatives. And that is what I really want to go into.
Okay.
So maybe very soon I'll stop doing some kind of photography and I'll just stick to beauty photography, because I really do like headshots. I like connecting with close-up shots.
Okay.
More than full body shots.
Yeah. You've mentioned it in some of your Instagram posts as well, so we've seen that.
Exactly. If you give me a camera, to shoot, the probability of me shooting a wide shot is very low. Yes, unless I consciously decide that I want to do a wide shot, then I'm going to do a wide shot.
I can definitely relate with you. I'm almost always gonna go for a headshot all the time. So I definitely understand what you mean. But I think on the topic of balancing, you mentioned something very important there. It's either I pick one and be very good at it, or keep both of them and be very mediocre, which is huge.
Exactly.
It's huge, especially if it's two things that you're not only passionate about, but very good at as well. But those are the kind of mature decisions now you have to make as an individual.
Exactly.
If you want to deliver quality, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And for the past weeks, like, I've really been thinking about it, and I came to a decision. So I just hope it works out. But then, so far so good. I'm going to pursue retouching.
Okay. Definitely. I definitely wish you all the best. Honestly, it's not an easy decision to make, to let go of something that you care about. But I definitely wish you all the best. And I think from what I've seen, speaking for myself, I think you have very good work. And I definitely see it going to, honestly. But I think on the topic of balancing and time management, and picking one over the other, there's also the aspect of since now you are working for yourself and you need to schedule your time, there's the aspect of balancing.
I don't work for myself.
You don't work for yourself?
I work for myself, but then I also work for someone else.
Okay. The question now is creatively finding the balance between making content and having time for your private life. I don't know if that's making sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, because I think what I'm trying to say is because I realized it, and it's a question that I ask a lot of people a lot of the time. How do you balance creativity and private life? And today actually, I had a friend reach out to me and he's like, I want to do something with you. It's something that he had planned to do with me. And I had to turn him down because I had this going on. I had 2 interviews today. So it's things like that now where you're like, I'm really missing out on the private life. I'm really missing out on hanging out with friends and family because I'm trying to pursue this creative thing. How do I balance it out? Do you get the question?
Yeah, I do get it.
How do you balance it out?
Okay, so I think for me it's pretty simple.
Okay.
I'm saying that because my life is very simple. I'm not the outing kind of person.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not the outing kind of person. Like, I'm not a party type.
Okay.
I'm not a let's go here, have fun kind of person. Yes,
that's not you.
I'm a home girl.
Okay.
So like, I like being at home, and my life is, I would say my life is pretty boring.
No creative life is boring. No one who's in the creative space has a boring life. Let me tell you.
I'm saying my life is pretty boring because like it's the same routine. Wake up, you sit in front of the PC, you work, you eat,
go to sleep.
Yes.
You wake up and you do it all
repeat.
again.
Exactly. Exactly.
I get you.
You repeat. Like that is my life. Like majority of the time, I go to church too as well. Yeah, so it's basically work in church.
Work
Finish.
and church. Yeah,
Yes.
I think.
So what happens is that I also don't. I'm not the kind of person that has like, let's say, a huge clique of friends.
Okay. Small
Yeah,
circle.
like
Small circle.
Exactly. Very, very small circle. I have
It's
a
better
very
that way.
tiny circle.
It's better.
Very
that
tiny
way.
circle.
Not small, but tiny.
Very
tiny.
tiny. I'm telling you, very tiny.
Okay.
Yes, because I mean, and that circle, I feel like is very much okay for me because there's no drama.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's
Okay.
like stress free.
I love that.
I have the freedom to be myself.
Yeah.
I can be myself, like freedom to explore, make mistakes, have fun, like, you know, in a very tiny circle. So I don't worry myself about maybe, oh, what's happening in town today, let me go hang out with someone. You know, I don't have to make that decision between doing work and having to go out to be friends. But once in a while, I do call some photographers, you know, just say hi, just say hello, just check up on them. You know, because these are people that when I was starting out, they were the people that I was reaching out to. But I've gotten to a point where I didn't know I'd get to this point where I don't even have that time to hang out like I used to hang out.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy. You grow and the work becomes more, and it almost consumes you. It almost consumes you. It becomes you.
Exactly.
And it's almost sometimes difficult to separate you from the content.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I understand. And it makes sense. In smaller circles, tiny circles are definitely better. Are definitely better. But like you said, a simple life, keeping it easy, having a routine. I like that and I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, 4 years into the game, 2017, this is early 2021. What has been your biggest lesson in the creative space, or just generally? What's the one thing you're like, flip? If someone had told me this, I would have really appreciated it. I would have rather not had to learn it the hard way.
Well, right now, I can't really pinpoint something. But at least what I'll talk about would be dealing with clients. You know?
That one.
Yes, dealing with clients. Because some clients can be really hard. And I think it's one area that I've really improved in greatly, because when I started out, a lot of people used to take advantage of me because I didn't know my worth, and I felt like someone was doing me a favor by even paying me peanuts. I felt they were doing me a favor, and they were taking advantage of me, and they knew it. So I wish I had someone that could have, you know, told me this stuff, made me stand to my grounds, and, you know, not be taken advantage of like that much. But then, I mean, I guess there are some things that you can't actually learn them until you experience them yourself. Yes. So exactly. So right now, I'm just a big advocate of don't let anyone cheat you. Don't let anyone look down on you. Know your worth. Like, don't feel like you're not worth it, or you don't deserve this amount of money, or you don't deserve this price, because you know the work that you've put into it. You know the investments you've made. So if you're demanding for a certain amount of money, you deserve it. So don't let anyone make you feel bad for doing that. And right now, I'm a big advocate of it. And right now, like, if I get a client, I give you my rates. I've made my rates such that my clients would want to book me because they want me to shoot them. So not because I'm affordable or I'm just available, no, because they want me to shoot them. So they would go any extent for me to shoot them. So that is the point I am now. So if somebody goes that extent to book me, I really, really value that person because I know the other person really wants me.
Wow. That's big. That is big. And I can definitely relate to this idea of people taking advantage of you, especially if you're new to the scene, fresh to the scene. And you don't realize it. You really don't realize it. You think that they're really taking care of you or they're doing you a favor.
Mm-hmm.
It's very unfortunate that we live in a world that, treats us as creatives that way. And even when we do realize our worth, and like you're saying, and we start charging the fees that we do charge, they just look at us like we're crazy. And I'm like, it's not fair because we don't look at every other profession that way. You walk into, I mean, I'm not, no ways I'm comparing the efforts that goes into becoming a doctor, but you don't walk into the doctor's office and you negotiate prices. He's like, it's this much and it's that much. So I just dream and pray for a time where creatives in any space are seen less than people who are just doing a hobby, and as people who are actually pursuing a genuine passion, running a genuine business. That would be really nice.
Yes, and I think for that to happen, it's dependent on us. We as the creators, how we brand ourselves, how we put ourselves out there. We allow them to do that to us. Because if you don't allow it, it won't happen. So yeah, I mean it's about creating that awareness, educating people, letting them know the harm is doing as a whole.
Which you've been doing. I've seen a bunch of your videos on Instagram. They're very
exactly
very, very empowering. Like I won't lie. It's one of the reasons why I was attracted to your work and to your page. It's the positive message that you have been putting out, and I do believe it's reaching a lot of people, and I pray that it continues to do that as well, which is super nice. Yeah, but tell us a little bit more about the creative space in Ghana. Is it good? Is it bad? How do you feel? And this is obviously a much deeper conversation, but how do you feel it could be better? Where do you think it's lacking? Just basic things off the top of your head.
Okay, so personally for me, what I would say is that I try as much as possible to mingle with other creatives that allow themselves. But then I feel like here in Ghana, a lot of people keep to themselves. A lot of people, they are scared of other people's progress. That is how I see it. And I mean, but I think it's everywhere, generally, it's everywhere. But then I've had a few conversations with some of my creative friends in Nigeria. And one thing that I feel like Ghana lacks is competition. Yeah, healthy competition. Yeah. What I mean by healthy competition is where you see your fellow creative doing this and it challenges you. You want to do better. You want to do more. It challenges you, pushes you to go further in exploring your abilities. It pushes other abilities out of you. But I feel like a lot of people are in their comfort zones. Here in Ghana, just chilling, doing what you can.
That's very dangerous to be a creative person who's comfortable where they are, who's not wanting to grow more,
Because
that's a scary place.
Let me give an example. Okay, a lot of the people that I follow or look up to, a lot of them are like foreigners, like they're not in my country. And it's surprising to know.
That's true.
It's surprising to know that a lot of them are females. I follow a lot of female photographers like outside the country, and it's like outside Ghana here, it's like it's very normal for you to see a female photographer like in a Western country. Like it's very, very normal.
Yes.
It's not anything new or surprising. But here in Ghana, people see me a female photographer and they are amazed. They are surprised. They're like, wow, like
Wow.
I've never met a female photographer before. And I'm like, there are lots of us out here in Ghana. There are lots of female photographers here in Ghana. And you know, and the confidence at which they do their stuff, like that confidence that they have in promoting their brand, in going out there, shooting stuff and all that, like I tap into that confidence. And that is what I think enables me to do the things that I do. Because if I'm to look at my surrounding or the other people around me, I don't think I'll be doing the things that I'm doing.
Wow. That's crazy. That's legit. I love that. It's really inspiring, I think, for any space. And I can even think about the kind of space where I'm from back home in Zimbabwe. It's that idea of healthy competition. I feel like there is competition, but it's not healthy. Everybody's trying to get on top of everybody. Everybody's trying to be the best.
I mean, I think that is everywhere. On top.
Yeah, but I just feel like if we need each other to push each other more, grow together more. And like you say, it's everywhere. Not just in a creative space, but just generally around the world. Everybody's trying to be better than everybody. And put everybody down. But I think we can definitely achieve more if we work hand in hand. Like you say, you had a lot of people who were by your side when you started off this journey, people lending you cameras and people supporting you and things like that. And I think if we had a lot more of that, we'd be much more successful, not individually, but as a collective. And that would be really nice to have.
Yeah. And that is one reason why I'm also a big supporter of like helping beginner photographers, those who are new in the industry, those who are coming out, like to the best of my ability, what I can do to help. So that was why I started the YouTube channel, because I had a lot of messages in my inbox, people asking me, teach me this, asking me a lot of questions, and I can't attend to everyone individually.
It's hard, eh?
Exactly. Like for the past few weeks, my account has really been blowing up. Messages everywhere. I'm replying to messages every day, and this is something that was not there. Like I would say maybe some months ago, that wasn't what was happening. I could go to Instagram and I just be there. I'll just be there alone. But now I go on my Instagram. Anytime I just go on my Instagram, like new followers, new messages, like it's overwhelming. So I mean, I just had to start a YouTube channel so that everyone can benefit from it, so that it also helps me as well, because I'm just one person. I cannot just yes.
We appreciate that. Now I was talking to another creative, and I was like, people who really just get onto the social platform and release content for the sake of helping people with no real incentive to want to get paid for it. But that's big. That's huge. And this person, it's funny, they're a music producer and they teach people how to make music on YouTube for free. And they had someone who came to them in their private chat and they were like, you need to stop what you're doing. You're leaking all the trade secrets for music. Imagine. And they were like, you need to stop what you're doing. Right? Us as the producers, we don't approve of you just teaching people how we make music. And he's like, this is stuff that I learned by myself, free of charge. And I feel like people deserve to know these things. And I think his biggest argument was the amount of money people then have to pay to get you guys to teach them, the ones who don't want to leak the information. It's a lot of money, and not everyone can afford to go to school or pay for courses that will teach them how to make music or how to take photos. So having genuine people who are out there who are leaking information for free, it's really appreciative. So I really do commend the work that you're doing. I applaud it dearly, and I hope that it can definitely inspire and help people all across the world.
Yeah, yes. But then also, there is a group of people that no matter the amount of YouTube they watch, they are still not going to get it.
That's funny.
I've met this kind of people, like, they watch YouTube and it's not working. It's just not working. They are just not getting it. So it makes me feel like, it's everybody that is gifted with the ability to understand videos on YouTube.
That's true though. That is true.
And I mean, I don't blame them. Like, I also face something like that in another way. I'm a lady, okay, and mostly, ladies are into beauty stuff, makeup, hair, this kind of stuff. Can you imagine? I can watch, let's say, creative stuff on YouTube, and I'll be able to do it. But when it comes to stuff like makeup, hair,
it's a different stuff.
I just can't do it.
Oh, I love that.
No matter how many videos I watch, I just can't do it. So, I mean, I understand. There are some people that no matter the number of videos they watch, they still don't get it. So, these are people that need, like, one-on-one coaching.
Yeah.
Yes. And with one-on-one coaching, that means that you are taking the person teaching you, you will have to sacrifice their time for you. So, with that one, I feel like, yes, you need to pay for their time and all that, because I mean, time is money.
Not definitely. I do not disagree with that at all. Some people definitely do struggle, and they definitely need that one-on-one time. But I think that statement goes to show how not easy photography is. It's not just grabbing a camera, snapping it a couple times, and you've mastered the concept. It's so much more detail and so much more technical stuff that goes into it, which for me, I think, just makes me appreciate that art way more. So when I see you and the work that you do and all these other photographers and videographers, I'm just like, there's a lot that has gone into this. They just didn't wake up. It's been a long journey, and seeing them where they are makes me happy, because I'm like, they've definitely gone through a lot to get to where they are.
Let me tell you something. When I started off, as a beginner, okay, I used to ask a lot of questions. Okay, I used to ask those I used to look up to. I used to ask them these kind of questions that people are asking me now. I used to ask them, how many years have you been in photography? And a lot of them that I was inspired by their work, they were like, oh, I've been in photography for 3 years, 4 years. So it gave me this, like, consciousness that, oh, maybe in my subconscious mind, I was like, okay, that means that by the time I'm 3 years or 4 years in photography, my work is going to be very good. Because all these people that are good, they say they've been in photography for 3 years, 4 years. That means, okay, you need to be in photography for like 3 years, 4 years.
It's a process. It's a process. It's a process. It just doesn't happen overnight, and it takes time. So, but now imagine being 3 months into the journey and you're speaking to someone who's 4 years. It's hard for you to comprehend. I have to do this for another 4 years to get somewhere. Like, it's very difficult, because I think we also live in a very fast-paced world, where you blink and someone's posted a new photo on Instagram. You blink, someone's posted a new one on Facebook. Someone's posted a new video on YouTube, and it's good quality stuff. And these are people who've been in it 10, 15 years. But I think if we focus too much on someone's 10-year journey, we kind of overshadow ourselves and want to be them tomorrow, instead of really going through the motions of our own journey and, learning as we go. And I think I struggled with that a lot, consuming so much of the content from creators I look up to, and which wasn't a bad thing, but I just wanted to be them right now. I wanted to take the photos today.
I know, right?
But it takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of failing as well. The growing process involves a lot of failure, which is very necessary when you grow.
Yeah. And the experience counts a lot.
Yeah. I don't think there's a better teacher than actually experiencing it for yourself. Someone will always tell you, don't do A, B, C, D. And then you're like, I don't understand. And then you do A, B, C, D, and you're like, oh, flip, these are the consequences. Then you know why you shouldn't do A, B, C, D.
So no one will tell you next time.
Yeah, exactly. Because you've experienced it and you know the consequences too. But looking at your entire journey and the creative space that you find yourself in on a daily basis, what is your favorite part of it all?
What is mine, sorry?
What is your favorite part of the entire creative space that you find yourself in? What do you enjoy the most? Retouching. Why retouching? Why retouch?
I love retouching because one, I do get tired of things easily. So retouching because I get to retouch different creative projects, and that is not boring. Because you finish editing this work, the next week you're seeing it's a creative work. And the fact that I don't have to be the one to shoot it, but I get to edit it, so I get to enjoy it.
Do you not like the process of taking the photo?
No, I like it's. I don't know. That's me. That's me. Like it's like I can take pictures. I can take pictures. I mean, I started off as a photographer, and I've tried. I've tried all the niches in photography, all the aspects of photography. I've tried documentary, product, events,
and
baby,
everything.
everything. The one that I hate the most is baby photography. It's too much stress.
They just
I
don't
really
sit
salute
down.
those
Yeah.
I really salute those who do children or baby photography. Like, you guys are the real MVPs. Hey, they're
not
not
easy.
stress. I can't.
It's not easy. It's definitely not easy.
So yes, so I prefer retouching because then it's just me and my computer and my creative mind. And I love the fact that I'm able to do something and my clients are going to be like, wow, I love it so much.
Yeah.
Like, you're the best. All those.
That's a nice
accolades.
feeling. That's a nice feeling. That's a very
Exactly.
nice feeling. Yeah.
Because it makes me feel like, okay, I've put a smile on your face. I've made you excited. I'm glad you love what I've done for you. I'm glad you appreciate it. So that makes me more excited than getting booked to go shoot a client and have to pose a client. Because, posing clients is not easy because they are not like models.
Bruh.
They're not models. So it's very hard because sometimes you might have a pose in mind and they're just not reflecting it. But I love working with professional models because, they just do all the work for you.
Easy.
They
It's
do
very
all the
easy. It's a breeze.
You just tweak some things and you're good to go.
Yeah.
But then, we didn't start like this. I didn't start off shooting professional models. I didn't even have them at my disposal. You go professional model, they won't mind you. But then someone, yeah, because you don't have what it takes to shoot them.
Yeah.
Like if they've seen your portfolio, like there's nothing they wouldn't want to be associated with you. But then someone gave me the opportunity, and that was what opened doors for me. So I try to also give people or beginner photographers the opportunities that I didn't get, or the opportunities that I feel like helped me, so that it also helped them as well. Because someone gave me the opportunity to shoot a professional model, and once those pictures landed in my portfolio, when I contact a professional model, when they look on my page and they see that, oh, you shot this professional model, okay, then I can work with it. Then that's how it started. So I tried to give people that opportunity. So I came up with a project called the Shootout Project, where I give upcoming photographers the opportunity to shoot with me. Like I organize the whole shoot with professional model, professional makeup artists, and they get to shoot with me. So sort of like they get images with professional models in their portfolio, and that's
really
like
cool.
A start for you, because then if you have those images in your portfolio, if you should call a model, they would want to work with you. And that's how you move on from there.
That's amazing. That's a really cool initiative. Mind blowing, actually. Really, really mind blowing. But I think that for you, I was actually thinking when you're talking about it, I really do appreciate the people who give all creators a chance when they're starting off, because you are generally a nobody. You have no portfolio. You've never done this before, but someone comes to you and they're like, please take a photo of me and my family. Please take a photo of this event. And they pay you for it. And you're like, when you look back at it, you're like, I should not have been paid for this. So I think I'm definitely getting the same idea from this project that you've started. It's giving people who really don't have much to go off of in terms of a portfolio and taking them from level 1 to a high jump in level 50 in exposure of taking photos of models, which is a super cool initiative. I don't think there's anything harder than breaking into the market and having the first couple people hire you for a gig as a photographer, especially in a market that's somewhat saturated. There's just so many photographers to choose from. People are always going to choose the people, more often than not, the people with a decent portfolio. So I really, really, really appreciate the work that you're doing. Again, it's really, really amazing. But yeah, when you look at your last 4 years of taking photos, what has been your greatest achievement? No matter how small or insignificant it may seem to the rest of the world, what are you most proud of achieving?
I think I'm proud of the decisions that I've made in the past 2 years of my life, because I believe that is what has contributed massively to where I am today. Okay, so I made a decision to join a team of videographers.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like the official photographer. They do just videography.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is what I meant by I work for myself.
Okay, that makes sense now.
So I'm self-employed and I'm also employed.
Okay, that's
exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, but my employment is not based on salary.
It's not based on salary.
It's contract based.
Okay.
It's contract based.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. So that was like I think that was one of the best decisions that I've made in my career so far, and it has really contributed massively to where I am now, and I'm so grateful. And also another achievement to be when I bought my first camera. That was last year.
How was that feeling?
It was very amazing because I bought my first camera in a year when there was so much chaos.
Yeah.
There was shortage of money because people were in quarantine and people had to use money to buy food supplies. People you wouldn't have to go to work. You are at home. There's no money coming in. That kind of stuff. And it was during that time that I bought my first camera. So it's so amazing. When I think about it, I'm even amazed that I was able to do that at a time like that. And when I tell people like I was doing photography, I was shooting, but I didn't have a camera. That should be inspiring. Because the fact that you don't have a camera, it shouldn't stop you from still pursuing photography. Because I didn't have a camera up until last year.
Crazy. I think that goes to show that it was never about the gear that you have or don't have. And a lot of people are like, and I know I did that. I fell short of that, and I was like, I'm not gonna start a YouTube channel because I don't have A, B, C, D. And I really did have everything I needed. I just didn't have as much as other people had. So there was a lot of comparison with other creatives, which is very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous space to be in. But I ended up starting it with the little that I had, and needless to say, it's making me very happy, and I'm very content with what I've had.
I think you are doing amazingly well.
Thank you so much.
Well. Getting even this initiative, getting like photographers or creatives from all over the world to be on your channel, I think it's a beautiful thing, and I really applaud you for that.
I appreciate it so much. It means a lot to get feedback like that, and it's words like that and responses like that that definitely keep me going. But we've definitely edged closer to the end of this podcast recording. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been an absolute honor to sit down and chat with you. I'm short of words, really. It's different when you see someone on Instagram and social media, but then when you sit down and actually get to speak to them, it's a totally different ballgame. I just have one more question to close us off, and what would be the greatest advice you've ever received? It's a two-part. What's the greatest advice you've ever received in your life or just in the creative space? And what's the greatest advice you would give to someone who is looking to break out?
Okay, so I would say the greatest advice that I've received, it may not be like one advice, but it has come in different forms, but still communicating the same thing. And that is not putting pressure on yourself, being you, going out there, yes, doing you, do what you can with what you have. Like, don't stress yourself to be where you are not. Like what you just said, don't compare your 2 years with someone's 10 years. So working at your own pace and within your own, within your own space. And yeah, that's the same advice I would give to people out there. Don't allow anyone to put pressure on you. Don't put pressure on yourself. You may see someone's work is super creative, but you don't know the work they've put in to get to where they are. Be willing to put in the work, because once you put in the work, you're definitely going to see the results.
Yeah, that's big advice. And I would definitely reiterate what you said. It's believe in yourself, trust in yourself, stay in your lane, do your thing.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Stay in your lane.
In your lane.
Seriously, and that's one thing that I do. Like, I try to stay in my lane. I don't try to compare myself with anyone. You're doing great. Yes, your work is amazing. Yes, it's beautiful. I appreciate you for that. But I won't try to be you. I'm also trying to be the best that I can in my field. Yes.
And be original. And be original.
Exactly.
I love that. Thank you so much. I really do wish we could chat more. I've learned so much from you, and I hope that the audience can learn as much as I have from you as well. It's truly been an honor. Thank you once again.
Thank you too for having me. It's a pleasure.
It's definitely been a pleasure. It's definitely been a good time. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.